Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Planet Tyro. I'm your host, Donald Wonder. Yes, the hiatus is still on, but how could we not talk about probably the most anticipated movie of 2018 that hit in April, early April? Before I get into that, I do want to say there is some some project updates I want to talk to you guys about. You might be interested in. So yes, in the background, I have been working on certain things I mentioned before on the Black Panther review. Things have changed. So before that, why don't we just get this out of the way and speak about Avengers Infinity War. Okay guys, so it's been a week or so since the movie came out, so I will get into spoilers in a moment, but first, you know what, let me get my rating out of the way so you know how I feel about it. If you guys just so touchy about spoilers, you just want to hear what I think about it, the movie's good, I had a lot of fun with it, I don't think it's perfect as they never really are, and I give the movie a rating of a high, solid B. Thoroughly enjoyable, looking forward to the next one, but I'm going to get into spoilers now, so here's your spoiler, timeout, 3, 2, 1. Avengers Infinity War, what did I think overall? Look, again, everyone's praising the Russo brothers, a Marvel 10-year plan. This was in the making for so long, no one's ever done this before. Let me give credit where credit's due. The Russo brothers, directors, the cinematography, all on point. For them to bring all these characters together in a cohesive movie is an accomplishment. Saying that, some characters don't get a lot of limelight, like Captain America, for example. The whole new Avengers team, Captain America, Black Panther, Bucky, Falcon, War Machine, that side, they don't get a lot of focus. They probably could have had more, but that's what do you expect from a movie that has, over 30 heroes and a villain as well? So, I like Thanos. I think Thanos was done really well. In terms of his balance idea, look, when we talk about Dark Side and Thanos and their ideas of global domination, it doesn't really, they're insane when it really comes down to it, but at least Thanos doesn't seem to be totally evil, maniacal, a sadist. He believes he's the hero and there's some backstory. Whether they executed his dilemma and certain elements about him, having love for someone and being, giving up something. Did I believe that shit? Not necessarily, but he was an interesting villain. In terms of his sheer presence and intimidation, 2 thumbs up. Yes, I believed he was the most dangerous thing and everyone should fear him. And he had great scenes with the gauntlet, when the reality manipulation, a lot of fake outs. Let me rewind a little bit. I don't want to go on and on and on about this movie. Everyone's doing it. The opening scene, which just continues off for Ragnarok to a very grim reality for Thor, was excellent. I thought that was amazing. The fight with Hulk, although it was brief, I thought that was a good way to start the movie. Just the whole dour tone this movie set was a change of pace, which was everyone wanted in Marvel. They wanted some stakes, and they got it here, and I enjoyed that. Spider-Man was excellent. My standout characters in the movie, by the way, Thor, great. Iron Man, great. Robert Downey Jr.'s phoning in a little bit personally. Star-Lord's funny. And, Black Widow, she was kind of badass. And she had very minimal scenes. I know that, but that was great. What else did I like about the movie? The characters, the action's great. This movie had tons of great action. I love the fact that the movie wasn't all set on Earth, actually. You had to go to Titan and Earth and all these other places. All of that was good. Let me get the things I don't like about the movie out of the way, because I don't want to overpraise this movie. I'm a critical bastard. You know what? I didn't really buy Gamora and Quinn being lovers for life in this movie. Don't get me wrong. In Guardians of the Galaxy, it was building. Their relationship was starting to build. But Love Me Forever, I was like, are we there yet? You two? But for the movie, I've been told I've been a little bit too picky on that one. I just didn't really buy that amount of love, but for the movie, I just have to overlook it. Honestly, my main problem with the movie is the ultimate deaths. And what I mean by that is, I guess this is more of a behind the scenes problem. From the whole production of this movie, you're going to hear that this is the movie where people are going to die. There are going to be consequences, and Marvel is going to take more risks here. So throughout the movie, certain people die in the beginning. Idris Elba, Loki, and some of the deaths in the beginning, they seem substantial and they seem real. But by the end, as an adult, when you see Black Panther dying and Spider-Man dying, it puts everything else into question. It puts every death in the movie into question. And when you've got a reality warping glove that can basically just click, it just makes you think that maybe Marvel have got to the point where, the Marvel superheroes feel like they're not like DC superheroes. DC superheroes feel like gods, absolute gods. The Marvel superheroes feel like military level. I mean, Iron Man and Captain America, they're like the two powerhouses of this whole franchise, and they seem military. They don't seem like Superman level. Thanos is a cosmic entity. Silver Surfer and Galactus, all these. I think Marvel is getting to the point now where they're gonna start introducing high level concepts. Even Guardians of the Galaxy, they've touched on this a little bit. Well, I think the weaker parts of the comics, with all these reality bending things, I don't think it's gonna play well in live action. And when it all comes down to is that my fear is in the next movie they can just rewind what they just did in this movie, and that's what kind of took me out of the movie a little bit. Like killing certain characters. Look, entertainment wise, the movie was fine. I really enjoyed the movie, and as an adult, I can see they can't do certain things. They can't commit to certain deaths. Some people are just not gonna die, and I just wish because of that they didn't just throw the baby out with the bathwater, if that makes sense. Someone by the end just whisking more than half the people away, half the heroes are just like, well, if I was worried before, I'm not anymore, just because you can't take away Spider-Man. He just had one movie. You can't take away Black Panther, the biggest grossing movie of the whole year apart from this movie. So for me, it was kind of like, I'm anxious to see where it goes in Avengers 4, but at the same time, that a lot of this is going to get reversed. So it just took away the whole consequence element. They kind of, I guess they had a bit of an impossible task, because again, if they went too dark, too black, not black, but you know what I mean, too dark, it would have taken away from, it would have hurt too many people. Even though we all know comics, everyone dies, everyone comes back, blah, 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 blah. So anyway, I feel like I'm going around in circles. The movie's enjoyable. If you're a Marvel fan, you know what? If you're a Marvel fan, you'll enjoy this, but again, you might come away feeling a little bit, this was too sour. Let me tell you something. I haven't seen a superhero movie that went this dark before, and it's really fun. It was done in the right way, and it's a 2-part movie. I can't really criticize the narrative because it's an unfinished story. This is an unfinished story, so I can't really criticize the story. I can only really judge this movie on the enjoyment level, for the cinematography, and for the tone. The whole tone of this movie was great. Thanos winning is great. It's a great event. This is an event movie. If you come in cold to this movie, I don't know, man. This movie is not for newcomers. This is for people who have watched the previous movies. Not die-hard comic fans, but you've watched the other movies and you're ready for Thanos. You're ready for some consequence, and you are going to get it. And because of that, I really enjoyed the movie. I really, really did enjoy the movie. I think the real suburbs did a really good job. I'm eagerly awaiting Avengers Infinity War. Oh, another thing I didn't like about the movie, who gives a shit about Captain Marvel? Like, honestly. Have you guys read Civil War 2? I'll put a link in the top hand corner there. Go on the comics, explain comics. I don't like Captain Marvel. I don't feel like she's going to be the savior for Avengers 4. And I don't really want her to be, because she's not a very well-known, established character. And I heard all these rumors about the next movie is going to be a 5-year time skip. Pretty ambitious, pretty interesting. Bottom line, I'm very, very, very interested to see what they do in Avengers 4. Very interesting. And they said that just the title alone is going to hint to what it's going to be about. But that's it, guys. What did you think of Avengers? Do you think it's overhyped? Do you think that you'd prefer the DC? No, I'm joking. Come on. Did you just tell me if you didn't enjoy the movie, what you didn't like? We don't all have to agree. I don't think the movie's perfect, but it is very, very enjoyable. Did it live up to the hype being the ultimate question? It was not the movie a lot of us were expecting, but it was still very enjoyable. And that is really good. To go into a superhero movie for once and not get what you're expecting, that's really, really good. So I honestly don't have much criticism. I really don't. But anyway, guys, what did you think of Avengers Infinity War? What do you think is going to happen in the next one? What do you want to see? And that's the end of the review, guys. Again, share your thoughts below. Now, before I leave, I just want to give a channel update. What's going on? What have I been working on behind the scenes? You know what's so funny, man? I don't want to get too much into this. Follow me on Twitter at Don Tyro. I'm working on a new podcasting project, which, to be honest with you, I was working on a new YouTube project. That's what I was meant to be doing. But then, you know what? I finally got inspiration to do a brand new podcasting project. This is going to make like the third one. And podcast 19 at Planet Tyro is still an active project, but I'm starting a whole new project. And I'm very excited because I've already got people on board and I've already got a domain. Guys, I want to launch this podcasting project in June. So follow me on Twitter, follow Planet Tyro, and you will know about it. And it you know what? It involves people. It involves you, the internet people out there. And it is an inspired project. That's what really excites me. This came out of nowhere. I had an idea, a very good idea. I've passed it by so many people. They really like it. And it's just gone off the floor running. And I haven't even told a lot of people. In fact, there's some people on the team, on Planet Tower team, that don't even know I'm doing this. Anyway, guys, follow me on Twitter. I'll get more into it. Thanks for watching. Again, more than likely, what's going to happen with this channel in particular, I'm probably going to hit on the most popular reviews for the cinema movies, because that's what Planet Tower is, a pop culture channel more than anything. And maybe some TV shows. But for now, I'm focused on the new project, which is really fun. And Planet Tyro is incorporated into that. If you want to know more, follow me on Twitter and I'll tell you the details. Let me get the hell out of here, guys. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next recording. Take care. Peace.